All right, we are live on the Coach Eli television network, YouTube, Facebook, and D Live. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here tonight on this beautiful, amazing Sunday evening. The weather has been absolutely fantastic here in the San Francisco Bay Area where I live, Northern California, West Coast. Yeah, that's where it's happening, right? Well, I'm sure it's happening in your neck of the woods as well. But it is Sunday, August 15th, 2021, the day that this live stream is happening live. But hey, like I always say at the beginning of each of my streams, if you're watching later on the replay, whether it's right after the show ends, a day later, a week later, a month later, even a year later, this show and most other shows I do have tremendous replay value because the content is evergreen. So don't think that just because you missed the live stream, there's no value here. There's plenty of value. And hey, if you even comment on the live stream replay, I will get back to you as soon as possible and answer all of your questions the same way I would answer them live on the air if you were here live and chatting in the chat. But before we get to today's great topic, let me make sure, first of all, that the YouTube notification has gone out, and it absolutely has. Let me check out the back end of YouTube and make sure that everything is rolling smoothly, and it absolutely is. And looks like Facebook on the back end is rolling well, and D Live on the back end is rolling well. The Queen is here. I'm sure things are rolling well on YouTube. Queen, you would let me know otherwise, so I'm not going to check YouTube on the front end, but let me check out Facebook and D Live on the front end. Let's see. Facebook, we're at the top of the news feed. YouTube on the front end, but let me check out Facebook and D Live on the front end. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Facebook, we're at the top of the news feed. Yeah, we are at the top of the news feed. Let's go ahead and check the front end of D Live. D Live. Let's check it out. Here we go. And check the front end of D Live. D Live. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's working quite well. I just love how low the latency is on D Live with such high quality. All right, we are good to go, and we are ready to rock and roll. Tonight's show is going to involve discussing socially awkward people. This is a topic that I've wanted to do for quite some time, and I figured today would be the right time to do it. I kind of will try to spread out my topics where I feel they're going to make more or the most sense to the people that follow my content. I have some great moderators here that have been following me for quite some time. I also have some non-moderators that follow me as well. There's some really good people, and they've been struggling with certain aspects. And, I like to cater my content to try to help as many people as possible based on what they're currently dealing through in life. So that way I can do my best to help them overcome those setbacks and move forward to accomplish whatever it is that their hearts desire. So the topic of today's stream is dealing with socially awkward people and the best way to help them solve it. One more time. Dealing with socially awkward people and the best way to help them solve it. So let me just get right to the point and answer the best way to solve it right out of the gate. I'm the type of creator that in most cases is not going to make you wait to get the answer. I'm going to give you the answer at the beginning of this show. And if you want to take the answer and run and leave and not watch the rest of the show, that's totally up to you. If you stick around for the rest of the show, you're going to have supporting information regarding this answer and why I feel this is the best way to help socially awkward people. But first, before I can answer that, let me share my opinion, and I'm stating my opinion on what a socially awkward person is. Well, a socially awkward person, in my opinion, is going to tend to have more of an introverted side instead of an extroverted side. They're more of a closed off person, closed off emotionally. And this typically stems back to their childhood and the way they were raised by their parents. Like I've mentioned throughout many other shows that I've done, everyone's upbringing from the day they're born and as they're growing up through their preteens and teenage years is going to define, how they enter this world as an adult. And it's going to affect their behavior and how they see things as they get older. So, for example, if you come from a broken household, or let's say, you just had one of your parents growing up. Let's say you only had your mother raising you or your father raising you. Or let's say you didn't have both of your parents and you were adopted, or you actually were raised by grandparents or other family members, aunts, uncles, and stuff. It's not the same as getting that nurturing love and learning those life lessons from your biological birth parents. And that's where the issues of social awkwardness, in my opinion, stem from. Because what happens when you're growing up as a little kid? Okay, you're going through nursery school and kindergarten, right? And that's where you start to socialize at that point, right? And depending on how your parents are, for example, when I used to go to kindergarten or nursery school, my parents would pick me up and then the other parents would be there. And there were times in the parking lot where the parents and the kids would hang out and we would all socialize, right? But let's say that you had a parent that would just pick you up and throw you in the car, not literally, but you know what I mean, put you in the car, throw you in the car, and you just get out of there and you wouldn't hang around a little bit to socialize with the other parents and the kids. That is going to affect your social skills, right? Okay. Another example, as you get, after kindergarten, you start going through grammar school, 1st through 8th grade, right? And that's also a crucial time to learn, healthy social skills, in my opinion. And throughout 1st through 8th grade, there are a lot of events that the school will put on for students, teachers, and parents, right? And if you are not the type of parent that brings your child to those events and encourages socializing with other kids and other parents, and you're not a social parent yourself, if you as the parent are not a sociable type of person, that's going to reflect off of or onto your child and what your child sees. Okay, your child or children are going to replicate your behavior as the parents. So if you don't want your child to be socially awkward, then don't show your child or children social awkwardness when you're in public with them, especially, through school events as they're growing up. That's the time to teach them proper, healthy social skills, how to communicate with people, how to get along with people, etc. Queen Helen Casey in the YouTube chat says, I came from a dysfunctional family life and was abused by my mother. I'm sorry to hear about that, Queen, but you worked through it on your own. Some people can work through it on their own and can still make something out of themselves. And Queen, I'm really proud of how you've turned your life around and you've made something out of yourself. Now, I believe you were married and you have children. And now you're divorced and you've decided to withdraw. That's completely your choice. You like spending a lot of time on your own. But, Queen, that's your choice. And you're very well aware of what you've been through. And you understand the situation. You've done a lot of work on yourself, Queen. And you're just choosing to not socialize in certain environments. And that, I can't blame you, because even though I'm a very, very social person, Queen, there are environments that I no longer socialize in that I used to socialize in when I was younger. But the reason why I don't socialize in those environments anymore, because they're toxic environments with other socially awkward people that have lots of unresolved issues that are not healthy. And, that's going to lead in to me sharing when I was a little bit socially awkward in my younger days. I think everyone, to a certain extent, everyone, as they're growing up, is going to have some socially awkward moments or go through a period of social awkwardness. You're growing up and you're learning. And to a certain extent, that is totally normal. But at some point, if by some point you don't figure it out and snap out of it, and the way you're going to figure that out, the best way is, through your parents teaching you that if you have a good upbringing. But let's say you don't have a good upbringing, you're going to have to try to figure it out on your own. And nowadays, what's great is that there are coaches like me and other people that do similar topics as I do on the internet and YouTube and other social media platforms that can help you through this. You just have to choose to want to work through it, right? I don't keep relationships with men at all. Well, that's your choice, Queen. And I get that. You've tried it out and it didn't work for you. And at this point, you don't want to put yourself out there in that way. And who knows? It may change one day, or you may end up just being happy to be by yourself. If you're happy with the way things are, Queen, that's all that matters. All that matters, Queen, is that you're happy within yourself and the way you're living your life. If you're happy with the way things are, no problem. If you're not happy and you want to better yourself and work through some other things, that's totally on you. But so in my younger days, I had a lot of great friends. But the friends that I was attracted to were people that I perceived to not be in as good of a position as I'm in, meaning that these are socially awkward people. I didn't even know they were socially awkward people. I didn't even know what the word was back in those days, or the phrase was, right? But I've always been the type of guy, because of the way I was raised by my mother and father, but in this case, I got this more from my mother. I always felt like being there for the underdog. I always appreciated and rooted the underdog. So when I came across people, especially when I got into high school, and then I started working at a movie theater, the Hillsdale Cinema in San Mateo, California, I met some people that I could tell were not really happy with themselves, and they were nice people, but I could just tell like there was something off, and it was hard for them to make friends. And I would feel sorry for those people, and I would always welcome them into my world. And so what happened was, because that's the way I was raised with my big heart, I became friends with these people. And I tried to give them support and show them appreciation and respect in hopes that it would help them see themselves in a better way, right? But what happened? What happens when you're dealing with these people that have unresolved issues that stem back to their childhood, right? Or they've gone through some other traumatic events to the point of where it's hard for them to open up about anything. And a lot of these friends that I became friends with, these were guys, by the way, were extremely overweight. And I even had a friend of mine that had a very bad personal hygiene issue. He was also overweight. He would not wash his clothes all the time. So whenever I'd hang around with this guy, I would smell, or he would smell like rotten cheese. And it was just very, very difficult to continue hanging out with him. But I was friends with him for like 10 years, and I was trying to help him out. And I remember, and this guy was very, very socially awkward. And I was trying to just uplift him and be his friend and support him, right? And I always had a girlfriend. I was always, I'm not saying, when I was younger, I was a little bit more on the shyer side, but I was still more social than socially awkward. I still had some awkward moments I had to work through, right? But I was hanging around with socially awkward people. And like I've said before in the past, you are who you associate with. When you associate with people primarily that are socially awkward, you're putting yourself in a socially awkward environment. And you're going to end up turning into that if you don't withdraw yourself from that, or at least help these people overcome their awkwardness so they can be just normal, healthy people to be around, right? So what would I do? I try to uplift my friends. I'm a good guy, right? My friend would ask me, this is the guy that he was a tall guy. He was like 6 feet tall, but he was like 300 pounds. And he would shower like once or twice a week. He would wear the same clothes 2 or 3 times before washing them. So not only did he have body odor, his clothes would smell from the times he would previously wear them. He wouldn't wear deodorant, right? He would use gel in his hair that he hadn't washed for several days, and it looked all greasy. And he would come to me and say, hey, dude, I see, you have a girlfriend and people like you and they get along with you, like, I don't understand why I have such a hard time, making friends and stuff. And I told him this, I said, dude, listen, I love you like a brother. But do you want me to tell you the truth, which is probably going to hurt your feelings? Or do you want me to tell you what you want to hear so you don't get upset? He's like, dude, tell me the truth. I can take it, man. I want to make some changes, right? So I told him, right? I told him. I said, look, dude, you're 300 pounds. I love you. You're like my brother. But that's not attractive to people. Plus, you're unhealthy. Dude, you shower a couple times a week. You have a foul stench. I smell it, and it's hard to be around you at times. You wash your clothes. You wear your clothes 2 or 3 times before you wash them. You wear your clothes one time, okay, put them in a basket, and then when that basket gets full and you're running out of clothing, like you have a few more days of clothing left, you do a load of laundry. You wash your clothes and dry your clothes, and then they're fresh. That's another thing, okay? And that's a start right there. And it's like, dude, I can't believe you said that about me. Dude, I thought you were my friend. Dude, you're criticizing me. You're not accepting me for who you are. Dude, I accept you for who you are. But society is not going to accept that. And to be quite frank with you, I told him, this was in my younger days. This was my teens and early 20s. Okay, I met this guy from the movie theater. I said, dude, don't you want to smell nice? Don't you want to be in shape? Dude, seriously, would you, and I asked him, I said, dude, do you want to date a woman that smells like crap, that doesn't shower, that doesn't wash her clothes? Dude, I understand that, dude, but you didn't have to be that mean to me. I'm like, dude, I'm not being mean to you. You see what this guy's doing? He's projecting. He came to me for help. I accepted him for who he is. I offered him help from the bottom of my heart. And look what happened, right? This guy was a socially awkward person back then. I tried to help him, right? So I let it go. And him and I continued to be friends for, a couple more years. And the same question was posed to me by him a few years later. Dude, like, I don't understand, dude. Like, I can't get a girlfriend, this and that. I'm having a hard time getting the job that I want, this and that. I'm like, dude, listen, the last time we talked about this, I asked you if you wanted to hear the truth. And you told me yes. I told you, I'll tell you the truth, it's going to hurt. Or I can just tell you what you want to hear and you're not going to get anywhere. Right? He said, dude, let's talk again. I'm willing to let you help me. I'm willing to listen to you this time. I said, all right, dude, I'm going to try one more time. I'm your friend. I'll help you through this. But if you overreact to it one more time, dude, I can't help you, and neither can anyone else, because you have to be open to the help, right? Just let me have it, dude. I said, dude, you've gained even more weight. You're now 330 pounds. You're very unhealthy. If you don't take care of yourself, you're going to end up dying. And I don't want to see you die. Again, you still don't wash your clothes. You wash your clothes after you wear them 2 or 3 times each. That's laziness, dude. You're being lazy. Dude, I'm not lazy. Dude, why you say, listen, dude, you told me you wanted me to help you. You told me you're going to listen to this stuff. Dude, you don't have to be so mean about it. Dude, I want to try one more time. And if you're not open to my help that you said you were open to, then I'm just going to back off. Dude, screw you, dude. And then he walked away. And then he walked away. So I said, okay, that's it. I'm just not going to talk to him. I'm going to ignore him. What did I do? This is the second time I tried to help this guy who was socially awkward, right? Who I was a true friend of. I was truly trying to help this guy. I wasn't trying to be mean. I was trying to help him turn his life around so he can get what he wants. He wants a nice, cute woman like I would get back then, and still can't get. It's just harder nowadays because of the way things are. And I just wanted him to be happy. I was being supportive of my friend, right? But because after 2 times, he just wouldn't listen and he would attack me for trying to help him after he agreed to allow me to help him, I backed off. And he didn't try to reach out to me for about a week. He reached out to me a week later and I just ignored him. And I kept on ignoring him and I kept on ignoring him. Right? And he was also friends with my brother. And then he started reaching out to my brother and he started telling my brother, what's your brother's ignoring me. Like, what's wrong with your brother? Now he's trying to flip it. You see what's happening here? I tried to help the guy from the bottom of my heart. I tried twice, not once, twice, right? And because he let it get to him, and then he is the one that walked away. And then because when he was ready to come back for a third time, I started to ignore him. And I said to myself, I'm just not going to deal with this. When I started ignoring him, he went to my brother and started talking smack to my brother. That's what these people do. See, people that are socially awkward, when they're around people that are socially competent and socially healthy like myself, right? What in essence they're doing is they're projecting, and they are unhappy within themselves that they're not capable of being as communicative in a healthy way as you are. So I did the right thing. And that's the answer to the question. Dealing with socially awkward people and the best way to help them solve it is what I did. The answer is the best way to help them is to walk away. Why? Because there's nothing you can say or do that's going to change them for the better. They have to come to that realization on their own and be open to it. And when I tried not once but twice to help this friend of mine, and he walked away, and then I ignored him, and then he went to talk smack about me to my brother, right? Because I wouldn't talk with him anymore, right? That says a lot about him. It says a lot. You can't help people like that. I care about this person still to this day, but to this day, this person is still friends with my brother. And I don't talk with him because he has not changed. He still smells like rotten cheese, my brother tells me. He still doesn't wash his clothes all the time, right? He's still very overweight. And he's now almost 50 years old. And he's at a point right now where if he doesn't do something about his weight and start turning himself around, he's going to die in the next 5 to 10 years. And I don't want to see any one of my friends, past or present, die because they weren't willing to listen to a good friend or good friends that cared about helping them turn their life around. Especially after they came to me first. This guy came to me, right? He came to me asking for my help. And after I tried to help him twice, he shitted on my face. So I let him go. And this was, I will tell you, this was a little over 20 years ago when this happened. I have not hung out or spoke with this person for 20 years. My brother still does. He still talks smack about me to my brother to this day. When you're dealing with people that are socially awkward like that, and that are also mentally and emotionally unstable and insecure, and very weak-minded. And they're jealous because someone like me takes care of myself. I'm healthy and fit. I'm confident. I'm a good guy, right? They project, right? This is what these people do. Rather than trying to better themselves, lose the weight, shower every day, groom themselves, get a nice girlfriend, and turn their life around and be in the same position as me, they continue to project 20 years later, right? And this is the problem when dealing with socially awkward people. Again, it stems back to their childhood primarily in the way they were raised. Now, the interesting thing is with this guy, he had two of the nicest parents, the best parents ever. I knew his mother and father. His mother's still around. His father passed away like my father did. Okay? His father was a good man. His father was in the war and he got a Purple Heart. A very honorable man. His father was the grandmaster of the 4th of July parade about 25 years ago. And in Redwood City here where I live, Redwood City is the capital of San Diego County in the San Francisco Bay Area in Northern California. And it hasn't happened for years due to COVID, but every year we have a 4th of July parade where we close off a bunch of streets, and then the parade has a bunch of nice cars and different types of people and businesses walking through. And the beginning of the parade, there's like a nice air-conditioned booth where all the important people, sit in, right? And the grandmaster of the parade is allowed to invite a few people into the booth. I knew this guy's father. His father invited myself along with his son to sit in the upscale booth at the beginning of the parade with all the important people. He came from a good family. Sometimes you can come from a good family and still be a bit messed up, right? This guy also had a younger sister that was 3 years younger than him, 3 or 4 years younger than him. And his sister was very attractive and took care of herself. And his sister, I believe, went to law school and got a degree, and she's happily married now, right? So, folks, even if you have a great upbringing, this can still happen, right? I just don't know. I don't know where this whole thing stemmed from with him. I think what happened with him was that, he gained a lot of weight. And once he gained a lot of weight, he started to, this was in his younger days, he started to feel sorry for himself. And it was hard for him to make friends because people were criticizing him and attacking him for his weight. And they also were probably attacking him for not washing his clothes and not showering every day and smelling, right? While it's rude and mean to do that, okay, don't you think as a person, even as a little kid, don't you want to smell nice and be groomed? And do you want to be around people that smell like crap and aren't groomed, right? So why wouldn't you give them the same respect that you would want from them, right? And I tried to explain this to him when we were still talking, right? Now, you can only try so much with people. You can only try so much, right? And after a couple times, you realize no matter what you say or do, it's not going to change. And it's not that I wanted to withdraw and not be his friend anymore. I just didn't want to be around a person that was in such a negative state that didn't want to better himself, especially as a man. He didn't want to better himself. It was bringing me down to hang around with someone like that. When I've always had a positive attitude and I've always enjoyed being around happy, positive people that love themselves deep within and are cool people to be around with and are not going to be projecting insecurities and, feeling sorry for themselves and making it about themselves. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Now, I can understand when women do that, but when your guy friends do that, it's really freaking annoying to be around. And it's not healthy. And it's unattractive. And when you bring a guy like this around with your other friends, and if there are women around, and they start to smell this guy, and I say, hey, this is my friend, I'm not going to mention his name, this is my friend, blah, 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 right? To the ladies and stuff, they see how overweight he is, they smell his foul stench, and that makes me look bad, right? The ladies are probably wondering, why are you hanging around a guy like this? And they're not trying to be mean, but why are you hanging around a guy like this? Okay? So the best way to handle a situation like that when you're dealing with socially awkward people, this is the way I do it nowadays. I don't dismiss socially awkward people right away. Because number one, when I'm encountering somebody new, I don't know if they're socially awkward or not, but I can quickly figure out if they are or they aren't by their communication style. Because socially awkward people, like I said, are going to be closed off emotionally. They're going to be a little bit more on the introverted side. And let me give you an example. I've come across a bunch of socially awkward women through online dating. Women that saw my pictures, I saw theirs, and we saw each other's profiles, and we wanted to talk, right? But when we would go to the phone, they were very quiet, and they would say, I enjoy more so listening than talking. I just want to hear you talk. You sound great, right? When a woman does that, that means she's socially awkward. She has some unresolved issues stemming back to probably her childhood or maybe a past experience with another guy, right? And the reason why she wants to hear you speak more than talk herself, because she's not proud of what she's been through, and she's not ready to talk about what she's been through so she can work through it and then, be a healthy, social type of person, right? I want to be with a woman that's social or sociable. Now, I'm not saying social to the point of where she goes and bangs other guys while she's dating me, but I want to be with a woman where if I take her out to dinner somewhere, like for example, okay, in the past when I've dated women, with this one woman I was with, we were out of town and we went to a nice restaurant, and we actually went to that area to go hiking and to eat at that same restaurant several times during that time. And we met the manager at that restaurant, and he was a he was a cool dude, right? He was actually a gay guy, and he was friendly, right? I only mentioned that because I accept everyone, right? This guy was a cool guy, right? And I was with this woman, and we were both talking with him. We were smiling and having a great time. And the next time we were in the area, the woman I was with said, hey, why don't we go to that same restaurant again? Maybe that manager is there. I said, yeah, he's a cool guy. He took care of us. We went there. He was there again. And she was sociable, right? If I'm with a woman that's socially awkward and too shy to speak or closed off or something, right? And I'm in a situation like that where, I'm socializing with the restaurant manager. He's really cool, right? And she's just sitting there, right? That's going to be weird, right? That's totally weird. So those are the types of people I enjoy being around. Give me 1 second here. Interesting. Okay. My dating apps are going crazy again. I'm starting to get more numbers. Real time, folks. This is real time. So the point I'm trying to make, we're at 35 minutes, and when I'm done with my overview here, my opening monologue, I'm going to step away and take a quick break, and then I'm going to. I have 3 amazing Reading postings to go over regarding socially awkward people, and they're pretty interesting. So I'm going to share more about that, but. Again, you are who you associate with. And I've never been the type of person, and I'm not saying you should be this way either. I've never been the type of person that doesn't want to accept everyone. I do. Do I hate this friend of mine I was talking about earlier to this day? I don't hate him at all. Do I think he's a bad guy? No. Right? Do I still get crap every now and then from my brother on why I don't hang out with him anymore? Yeah, but my brother also understands why I don't. And even my brother has told me, yeah, man, I bring him in my car and then my car smells like stench afterwards. I don't even hang out with him anymore, but I hang out with him every now and then because, he's a good guy and he just, I feel sorry for him, right? So do I think he's a bad guy? No, he's not a bad guy. Do I hate him? No. But when I'm around someone like that, number one, it's hard to be around someone that smells. Number two, it's hard to be around a guy that's almost 50, that's insecure and, just doesn't love himself, right? Has no confidence, has no spine, has no self-love. It's just it's just annoying to be around, especially a guy like that, right? It sucks. Right? Because being around someone like that, if I were to start hanging around with this guy at my age 47, I'm going to be 48 in December, and I start bringing him around to my other friends and places I go where there are women and stuff, it's going to devalue me because they're going to see how unattractive he is, how he doesn't take care of himself, how his personal hygiene is horrible, right? Just like that other woman I met the other night. Her hygiene was horrible. That's the only reason why she didn't get a second date. Everything else was cool, but her hygiene was horrible. That was an awkward thing, right? And it led me to believe that there's something socially awkward about this woman. If she's not taking care of her hygiene to the point of where she wants to make a good impression on a first date with someone she wants a relationship with, then what else am I going to find out down the road that's making her awkward, right? I want to be with someone. I want to hang around people, whether it's for dating relationships or business partnerships or friendships. I want to be around people that love who they are deep within, that are reasonable, down-to-earth people, that, are in reasonably decent shape and in good health and take care of themselves, that dress nice, smell good, right? And care about themselves. I don't mean in a selfish way. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's just the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. So again, I'll say this because a lot of people throughout my entire life have scrutinized me for just getting rid of people from my life, And I've even been scrutinized for the same stuff with my online, connections and business partnerships and stuff like that, right? The truth of the matter is that it's not that I want to get rid of these people, or if you're like me, you want to get rid of these people. These people were weighing me down, and these people are weighing you down. And when you have one person, especially in today's day and age, when you have one person that is sucking the life out of you so much to the point of where it drains you and you have no energy to focus on anything else for the rest of the day, you've got to get rid of that. That's an anchor right there. You don't need an anchor in your life, right? You don't need an anchor in your life. And this is what these people don't realize, especially now in the modern world where things are very fast paced and people are quick to judge and they'll eliminate you quick because they have a lot of options, right? Primarily because of these things, right? You got to put your best foot forward. And even putting your best foot forward in the modern world, it's still not easy to get what you want, right? I take care of myself. I'm a good dude. I dress nice, smell nice. Okay, for 47 years old, I think I look good. I take care of myself. I have a nice beard. I use Just for Men. I keep myself healthy and fit. I use deodorant when I go on dates. I use Ricard Noir cologne. I have nice clothing, right? And still, it's not easy finding the right person. But if you put yourself in the dating world like my friend, smelling like crap, not washing his clothes, every time that he wears them, after every time he wears them, he only washes his clothes after wearing them 2 or 3 times. Being 130 pounds overweight or something like that at least, right? He absolutely has zero chance. My chances doing everything right are still not. It's still difficult for any decent guy that takes care of himself to find true love nowadays. But if you don't take care of yourself at all, you got a zero chance, right? So for me, and this is what I advise you folks to do, if you have people in your life that are weighing you down from accomplishing what you want to accomplish for yourself, you got to get rid of them. Now, it's not a selfish thing, okay? It's not a selfish thing to remove people that are weighing you down and draining so much of your energy, especially emotionally, which will affect you physically as well. You got to get rid of those people. And it's not a selfish thing to get rid of those people. Because if those people actually were in a more healthy state and were more socially normal, they would listen, make the changes, meet you at your level, and then together you could be good friends and help each other out equally, right? And equally move forward to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish in life, right? That's what true friends are, right? But when that person makes it all about them and they're always projecting and they're always, seeking your emotional support, like when your best guy friend, is using you as an emotional tampon, that's not going to work for me. That's going to drain too much of my energy and time, where I can focus that elsewhere with other positive people and get further ahead. Don't let other people, be an anchor to your success in your future. I know nobody likes to remove people from their lives because, we all try to be good people and accept people for who they are. The bottom line is when you're dealing with socially awkward people, and as I get more into this, you're going to see on these Reddit postings what I'm talking about. When you're dealing with socially awkward people, it takes them a lot longer to come around, if they ever come around at all. And some of them are so socially awkward, they're so closed off emotionally that, hey, it's not worth your time trying to help them. Or if you come across a woman like that through online dating or in the real world, if you talk with her, and then you notice she's socially awkward and closed off, what I do is I try to open her up one time by saying, hey, I'd like to hear what you think. How do you feel about this and that? And if they're not communicative after that one time I try to help them, once I figure out they're socially awkward and emotionally closed off, etc., then I let them go. In the online dating world, I'll ghost them because I don't want to deal with, their emotions, because that's what these people do, right? They're in an unhealthy state, and until they realize the issue and want to do something about it for themselves, doesn't matter who comes along in their life. It's never going to work out. And also, they're never going to allow anyone to help them work through it until they themselves realize the issue and accept the issue. Like my friend, he wanted my help. But he wasn't ready to accept my help despite him saying that he was, right? And another thing, before I take my first break here, the same thing applies to men that I've said applies to women in the past. Guys and gals, you have to look at people's actions over their words. I'm not saying discredit their words, but pay closer attention to people's actions instead of their words, right? When it comes to women, for example, like I've said before, women, they're emotional beings, right? And women will always say, oh, we want a really, really super nice guy. We want the guy that's going to text us first all the time and initiate everything all the time, this and that, right? But when you as a guy do that, because women say that's what they want, do they respond to that? No. What do they respond to? Well, you go on a date with them and then you tell them, hey, I had a great time. Okay, if you want to hang out sometime, let me know. That's what I'll say. If you want to hang out sometime, let me know. And they might say, well, you can call me too if you want. Well, hey, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, but hey, if you feel like going out sometime, reach out to me, right? And then you end the date, right? You want to put that back on the woman because if she's really into you, no matter what, she's going to reach out to you. She's going to put you into her orbit, right? But if you're the one that reaches out to her the next day, like, I had a great time, right? Or you keep initiating first every time, it becomes your idea instead of hers, and she won't respond to that. She might say, oh, I want a guy to do that, but what does she respond to? The complete opposite, right? Before I go on the break, remember this, folks. Pay closer attention to people's actions over their words, and that'll make a world of difference in your life and what you're trying to accomplish. We all need people to accomplish things. We all need people to accomplish things, right? We can't do everything on our own, right? If we run a business, we need people to sell our products to, right? Or donate to us and stuff, right? But regardless, would life be fun? Let's say you had $10 million in the bank and you're the only person on planet Earth. No one else around. What would you do with that money? There's no one around. Would that money even be valued anything if there weren't other people around? People love socializing. People love being around other people. It's a natural thing. I'm here to try and help as many people as possible become stronger, learn to more so love themselves, learn to more so value themselves. And if there are certain people that are going through things, like let's say you're a little out of shape or really out of shape, or you have some other issues you need help with, you're having difficulty getting over a past relationship, you're having trust issues, I can help you work through all those things so you can become an emotionally healthy person and not be socially awkward anymore and be socially healthy so you can enjoy life in the way it was meant to be enjoyed and in the way that you want to enjoy it. All right. So with that being said, we are at 48 minutes. Queen, if you're still around, what you think about the first part of the show? Got nobody on Facebook today and nobody over there on D Live. Yeah, if you're still around, what do you think about the first part of the show, Queen? Yeah, I was really looking forward to doing this show tonight and just, sharing how I feel about this. Hopefully people can learn from it and better themselves. If you need a little more hand-holding, you can reach out to me. Go to my website, coach.eliasmelas.com, and you can find out there how I can work with you a little bit more closely if this video here, the stream, wasn't enough. So let's go ahead and cue up some royalty-free YouTube music. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Let's see here. Do, 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 do. Let me see here. Ba-da-ba-ba. Do, 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 do. Boo, boo, boo. All right, Queen. I'm going to do you a favor again. Queen, you know what's coming. I'll just let you know, Queen. Little Otis. Otis is coming. You know who Otis is? Oh, you know what, Queen? I typically will play that third, but I think I'm going to play it first. All right. Music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for an 8 to 10 minute break. When I return, we're going to go over 3 Reddit postings. We may have to go to a second break, depending on how long it takes. But the first posting is going to be from the subreddit ENTJ. That's one of the Myers-Briggs personality tests. I'm not really too fond of that, but I'll share with you what it means when I get back. The ENTJ subreddit, and the question that was posed by the poster: how do you view socially awkward people? Then we're going to go back to the Ask Men subreddit. We spent a lot of time there on yesterday's show, and the question posed by the poster is: how do you deal with socially awkward women, as friends or on new dates? You don't meet them. You find out on the phone that they're socially awkward, and you don't meet them, in my opinion. You give them one shot to see if they open up to you a bit. If they don't, then you just don't meet them. But that's let me leave it at that for now. And then another one from the Ask Men subreddit. Lots of great topics in the Ask Men subreddit. 2.8 million members. I joined yesterday. Created August 30th, 2010. It's been around for, like almost 11 years. The 11-year anniversary is coming up on August 30th. It's August 15th. Former socially awkward men. How did you improve? Well, they misspelled it. They put dog. How did you improve? Former socially awkward men. How did you improve? Very interesting, folks. All right. So with that being said, stick around. We'll be right back. Here you go, Queen. Back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Tuck in the shirt. Tuck in the shirt. Tuck it in. Yeah. You like your song there, Queen, at the beginning of the break? See, I care about the people, Queen. It's all about the people. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Look at this beautiful background here, this beautiful lake. You like the background of that there, Queen, Helen Casey? Yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah, yes. The song is called Let Your Body Rock by MK2 from the YouTube audio library. All right. Let's get right back to it. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily broadcasting live on YouTube at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. That's youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. If you're on Facebook and D Live or the simulcasts are at as well, and you want more content than just these in-studio live streams, including mobile live streams exclusively available to YouTube, pre-recorded videos exclusively available to YouTube, and members-only content should you decide to become a channel member of my YouTube channel, come over to YouTube at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli, or go into your YouTube app or your laptop or desktop while signed into Google/YouTube and search the search bar for Coach Eli, Elias Melas. You'll find me at the very top of the 4K sub. Subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications, and you won't miss anything. Yes. I feel good. I feel real good. Oh, yeah. I feel incredible. And hopefully you do as well. All right. Welcome back, folks. Tonight we are discussing dealing with socially awkward people and the best way to help them solve it. One more time, dealing with socially awkward people and the best way to help them solve it. You want to find out more about what I specifically personally mentioned about that? Go back and check out the first segment of the replay. And I took about the first 45 minutes to share some examples, share my thoughts about, what a socially awkward person is, where that stems from, and the best way to, help these people solve that issue of being socially awkward. It is an issue. It's an issue because life is all about socializing, right? And if you're afraid or closed off to socializing, you're closing up all of the options that life has to offer you. That includes work, that includes a personal life with friends, with family, or even a relationship. So just think about that. If you're a person that's been struggling to connect with people or find the right person to date or find the right job or find the right group of friends, you have to dig deep within yourself and ask yourself, how are you coming up how are you coming off or showing up to attract those people in your life for them to want to be around you and accept you into their groups, right? It all starts with you. Any way you look at it, it all starts with you. And if you're struggling to figure that out and need a little more hand-holding, visit my website at coach.eliasmelas.com or email me at coacheli@coach.eliasmelas.com. Both those links are below in the description section of YouTube. And reach out to me, and I'd be happy to personally help you. If you're open to the help, you must, first of all, be open to the help. Okay? All right. So let's get right to the first of 3 Reddit postings here. Let's switch on over to the browser source. And this is from the subreddit ENTJ, which is a Myers-Briggs personality type. Myers-Briggs created these different types of personalities. And I'm not really into this thing, but it does make some sense. And right here, I'm showing the ENTJ personality type. Before I get into it, I want to read what is the ENTJ personality type, because that's what this forum is called on Reddit. So the personality type is ENTJ, the commander, extroverted, intuitive, thinking, judging, an overview of the ENTJ personality type. The acronym ENTJ represents one of the 16 personality types that are identified by the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. This popular personality assessment was developed by Isabel Myers and her mother, Catherine Briggs. The assessment tool is based on Carl Jung's theory of personality types. Other people often describe people with this type of personality as assertive, confident, and outspoken. Those are traits that I have. I don't think I'm ENTJ, but I do have some ENTJ traits, and I am assertive, I am confident, and I am outspoken, definitely outspoken. According to psychologist David Kersley, the ENTJ type is quite rare, accounting for a mere 2% of the population. Key ENTJ characteristics. People with this personality type enjoy spending time with other people. They have strong verbal skills, and interacting with others helps them feel energized. That's definitely me. ENTJ types prefer to think about the future rather than focus on the here and now. They usually find abstract and theoretical information more interesting than concrete details. Well, I do look forward to the future, but I am more about concrete details. So, half of that makes sense for me. The other half doesn't, which is why I'm not an ENTJ. I'm probably going to take the Myers-Briggs personality test. Maybe I'll do that live on the air. Who would like to see that? Me take the Myers-Briggs personality test live on the air one of these days. I think I'm going to do that. That'd be an interesting show. When making decisions, ENTJs place a greater emphasis on objective and logical information. That's me. Personal feelings and the emotions of others tend not to factor much into their choices. That's me. And that's how you should be too. Okay? So, personal feelings and the emotions of others tend not to factor much into their choices. Don't let other people distract you. Because a lot of people are going to be projecting their insecurities onto you to try to kick you down because you're trying to create something for yourself. You have to stay focused on the prize and keep moving forward. ENTJs are planners. I am a planner. That's me. Making decisions and having the schedule or course of action planned out gives them a sense of predictability and control. It's not about control to me. It's about managing my time in this crazy world where we have so much going on. We have to pick and choose where we focus our time that's going to best suit us and other people around us. They are highly rational. I am very rational. I'm not irrational. I'm not saying I'm never irrational. I'm human, but I am primarily rational. Good at spotting problems. I'm very intuitive. This is spot on about me. And excel at taking charge. I'm very good at being a good leader and taking charge. I always have been. These tendencies make them natural leaders. That's me, humbly speaking, with humility, who are focused on efficiently solving problems. That's why I do what I do as a coach. Perfectly stated. ENTJs are not necessarily good with emotions. Well, I am great with emotions, so this is not me. And excel at taking charge. That is me. These tendencies make them natural leaders. That's me. Who are focused on efficiently solving problems. ENTJs, I just read that. I read that twice. Sorry. ENTJs are not necessarily good with emotions, but that does not mean they are intentionally cruel. That's me. People misperceive me as cruel when I give tough love. But the people that misperceive me are typically the people that are struggling with the things I'm talking about, and they need the most help and just not open to it yet. And they're projecting because they wish they could be as strong and a good leader as I am, and outgoing as I am, and emotionally strong and stable as I am. They are prone to hiding their own emotions and sentimentally viewing it as a weakness that should not be made known to others. I have nothing to hide. If I feel something, I will share it with anyone, man or woman, at any time. I'm that secure within myself to the point of if I have an emotional moment, even an emotional moment of weakness, it makes me a stronger person to come out and talk about it and admit it than trying to hide it. Hiding things and holding things in are the most unhealthy. It is the most unhealthy thing you can do to yourself, because it's going to build up and eventually you're going to blow like a volcano, and it's not going to be good. It's going to make the matters worse. So let it out when you feel it. So there's a chart of strengths and weaknesses. You can see that there on the screen. I don't need to go any further into it. I'll zoom in a little bit on that so you can actually just see that on the screen there. Okay. So there you go. All right. So let's go back to the ENTJ Reddit subreddit. How do you view socially awkward people? How do you view socially awkward and shy people? Like when you are trying to open conversation with someone and ask them their name, what they do, if they like their job, etc., and give you clipped answers. Can ENTJ pick up on anxious people, and what do they think about them? Thanks, INTP. Okay, that's your Myers-Briggs assessment. Well, those questions you're asking are normal, rational questions. And if someone is closed off to answering them, it's for one reason and one reason only. They're not happy with where they're at or not at in their life. And there's nothing wrong with not being exactly where you want to be. But just because you're not where you want to be doesn't mean you shouldn't be open to having a conversation. If someone asks me that, I'd say, and let's say, I hadn't accomplished something yet that I wanted to accomplish. Well, this is what I do. This is what I'm working on. I'm not quite there yet, but this is what I really want to accomplish. I really have a passion for doing this, right? It's the way that you talk about it and the way that you feel about yourself. And here's the thing. The people that are going to be judgmental are going to be the socially awkward people that are worse off than you are, right? So why would it matter if you just came out and were open and just answered all the questions? What is your name? What do you do for a living? Do you like your job? Don't give out clipped answers. Be truthful. And if you don't like your job, let's say you're talking with me through a dating app or on the phone where we met through a dating app. You don't like your job. You can tell me, I don't really like my job, but I'm doing the best I can. I'm happy within myself, and maybe I'll find something better, right? And if somebody approached it that way, I'd be like, yeah, I really like your attitude and how you think. Yeah, I used to work some jobs I wasn't too fond of, and did something about it. I became self-employed. Maybe that's an option for you down the road, right? It's how you communicate about it, right? It's not about not being where you're not yet, right? It's not about it's not about exactly. It's not about not being where you wish you could be. It's about how you handle it. You're open about it, and how you're open to working on it into the future. And talk about it with other people and let them know this is where I'm at. This is where I want to be. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm working towards it. I would madly respect somebody like that a lot more than just being closed off about it. Let's go to the comments section. As someone who was a bit awkward in the past, it's gotten better. I empathize a lot with them. I listen to their woes and try to talk with them until they find some small steps to improve their situation. I used to be like that. I won't focus a lot of time on people like that anymore, with one exception, unless they pay me to. I'll tell you why. It's not about the money. The reason is people that pay you money are paying you money because they really want to make a change. Money makes a statement that you're trying to make a change. Someone that you're helping for free, like a friend, is going to take advantage of your time and is going to be less prone to be held accountable. Whereas if somebody is paying me money to coach them through this, that shows me they're more serious because they're putting their money where their mouth is at, right? And they want my accountability. They want to be held accountable by me, right? Like I mentioned during the first part of the show, that's what I was doing with my friend. And I not only tried to help him once, but twice. free of charge, right? That's what friends do. But it got to the point of where no matter what I would say or do in a genuine way, it wasn't sinking in. So there's nothing more I can do than withdraw and let him figure it out on his own. And 20 plus years later, he still hasn't figured it out. Had I remained friends with him, who knows the route I would have gone? Maybe I would have been 300 pounds. Maybe I would smell like crap. I don't want to be around people that aren't willing to make change and better themselves and get out of the rut they're stuck in. They just need to break the barrier, more practice, and that's that. That is true. Practice makes perfect. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. I agree to this. I'll usually be patient with someone for a while and try to make them comfortable. But past that, if it doesn't work, I usually ditch them because it's too annoying. That's a great thing. This is a woman, I believe. Look at this woman's name here. Look at that. The real D expert. You can read it on your own. I'm not going to say it. Ma'am, are you a real expert with that thing? This lady that just commented basically said the same thing I said in different words. She'll try to make them feel comfortable one time. And if it fails, they don't open up, then she just walks away because it's not going to make any difference. She's going to be spinning her wheels and wasting her time with someone that is a socially awkward or antisocial type of person, and it's just gonna bring her down. It's gonna suck out her energy, where she can focus it elsewhere in a more productive way. This is my take. I'll try to have conversation, but if you're not a good conversationalist, I literally have at least 10 miles long of things I'd rather do. So toodaloo, I agree. I'm the same way. Why am I going to waste my time trying to convert a socially awkward, emotionally closed off, non-talkative woman on a dating app when I've got 50 others waiting to talk with me, right? This is what these people need to understand, right? And you try to explain it to them, and they just get more angry and triggered. So there's nothing you can do. You try one time, because some people may actually be trying to work through it. For the people that are trying to work through breaking through their social awkwardness, if you try one time with them, you might be able to get them to open up, and it may work. But if you can't make it work after trying one time, if it doesn't feel better or different, and they open up to you after trying one time, you have to withdraw. That's the answer. That's the answer I give at the beginning of the show, and that's what these people are saying too. Okay, that I second. Wow, amazing take. I agree. I can usually tell if someone is being clipped because they want to be left alone or because they're shy. Well, being shy is one thing. Being closed off is another thing. Okay, let me tell you something. I've met shy girls in my younger days. And let me tell you something, it was very easy to make them feel comfortable because they weren't closed off. They were just shy, right? If they're emotionally closed off, stemming back to their childhood because they didn't get the right amount of nurturing love or any nurturing love from their parents, or they came from a broken household, or they experienced something traumatic, okay? If they're emotionally closed off, that's hard to get through. So that's why I try one time, because sometimes the women are just shy. And if they're just shy and not emotionally closed off, typically trying one time will get them to open up. If they don't open up after that one time, that means they're emotionally closed off. There's some other unresolved underlying issue that they haven't worked through yet, and you're just wasting your time. You're spinning your wheels, and you can't help them because they're not ready to be helped. They're not open to the help. The way you help them is by letting them go. And if everyone lets them go, eventually they're going to realize, wow, no one's talking with me. Why not? Well, maybe it's because of how. It's not about how you're showing up. It's how you're not showing up, because you're not saying anything. You're not even really showing up, even though you're there. If they want to be left alone, I'm happy to do so. If they seem shy, I'll probably go out of my way to ask them thoughtful questions in a one-to-one environment. I said the same thing in different words. Make them feel comfortable. Open body language. Listen, copy their body language, encourage them. I wouldn't copy their body language. I would just be yourself and ask them normal questions. And if they perceive those normal questions to be too much, or they say, oh, you're asking too many questions. What is an interview? What is this, 20 questions? I've mentioned that before when I've come across women like that with dating. That's a woman that's emotionally closed off. That's not a woman that's shy. That's a woman that has an unresolved issue somewhere, possibly stemming back to her childhood, or maybe a previous relationship or marriage or friendship or some type of issue that's unresolved. It's not your job to fix that. It's your job to identify that and withdraw before you invest too much time in the wrong person and waste your time. Same here. I don't usually get irritated or something. I don't get irritated at these people anymore. I kind of used to, because I didn't, when I was younger, I didn't even realize what was going on. But, like nowadays when I encounter people like I did with my friend I was talking about during the first part of the show, if I spot immediately that they're closed off emotionally, I'll withdraw and I'll move on. I won't put any more energy into it. But I will try one time. That takes just 2 to 5 minutes on a phone call. If I'm talking to a woman online, it takes 2 to 5 minutes for me to figure out if she's emotionally open or closed off. Because women that are talkative and are excited to talk with you and they want to get to know you are going to go back and forth right away. A woman that's not is going to be, hey, nice to meet you. Oh, nice to meet you too. So tell me about yourself. Well, I'm just me, How about you tell me about you? You see, that's not just shying away from it. That's being closed off. She's avoiding saying things about herself, right? You got to pick up on that and move on. All right, I'm going to read one more. We are at 1 hour and 25 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read one more, then go through the chat, take one more break, and come back and briefly go over the last two. This is a long paragraph here, so at least this person owns it. God, I need to stop making these so long. LOL. Oh, that's so funny. Just because someone is short with me, I don't immediately presume they're socially awkward. Neither do I. That's why it takes 2 to 5 minutes to ask them questions and see if they're going to be open to answering normal, common questions that anyone would answer. If they don't answer them, then they're awkward or they're emotionally closed off. Some people don't like socializing. Well, if they don't like socializing, what's the point of life? Just to sit at home like a hermit all day? Some people don't like revealing too much about themselves and don't feel comfortable expounding in usual settings or around people they're not comfortable with. That's not healthy. If you don't like revealing too much about yourself, it's because you don't love yourself. You're not happy within yourself. If you're completely happy within yourself, you're not going to be afraid to share anything and everything about yourself. Right? Some people could just be having a bad day. That is true. But those people, you can convert them, right? If I'm talking with a woman and she's having a bad day, I'm going to say, hey, kind of sounds like you had one of those days. How about you let me cheer you up? You seem pretty cool, right? And see how she responds. Well, I don't need you to cheer me up. Or she'll say, yeah, I could really use some cheering up. Thank you, Eli. You seem like a good guy. Well, yeah, I am. You seem like a good woman. Let me do my best to put a smile on your face and take you away from all that BS for the next hour or so that we talk, right? You try that out, right? And see how she responds. If she's still closed off, you're out. Peace out. Okay? If not, keep moving forward. See where it goes. Hell, I was super sick just a week ago and I didn't really want to talk to anyone, and I'm like 70% extroverted. That happens to all of us. That's normal. But here's the thing. If I'm not feeling well or something, I'm not going to hide the fact that I'm not feeling well. I'm just going to say, hey, I'm a little under the weather. I'm a little tired. It has nothing to do with you. I'm just not in the mood to talk because I've got a headache and I'm trying to relax to feel better. Let's talk tomorrow, right? If you're going to do that, if someone wants to talk with you and you're sick or not feeling good, right? Let them know real quick. We've all got these damn devices. You can send them a text, an email. You can communicate with them any way. You don't even have to call them. Just send them a text and say, hey, look, I'm not feeling that great. Let's talk tomorrow. Like people that I work with on YouTube, like my moderators, we have a private mod chat behind the scenes. And if something happens and they want to talk with me and find out if I'm okay, even if I'm not feeling well, I'll try to get back to them as soon as possible and say, hey, everything's cool. We can talk tomorrow. I can't talk today. I'm a little bit tired. I'm resting up. It has nothing to do with anything with you or anything else. I just need a day to rest, and we'll talk tomorrow. I'll catch you up. But just don't worry in the meantime. I'm cool. You give them that. That's all you do. That's healthy. That's normal. Even if people appear mediocre at socializing, everything is a skill. Practice makes perfect. I agree. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that, brother. Practice makes perfect. Right. Right. Amen. Everything can be refined. Sure. If you're willing to work on yourself, sure. Introverts are like Goldilocks. They just need the place and people to be just right to express themselves. Yeah, nothing wrong being introverted, but typically people are introverts because they like more so being alone than being around other people. I like to be alone sometimes, and I like to be around people other times. I'm like 50-50. Like during the week, I love doing this stuff. I'm by myself. I'm with my audience, and that's all great, right? But some nights I'll go out with friends or hang out with family. And then some weekends I might stay home, or I may go hiking and do stuff. I kind of go with the flow. But let me tell you what makes me want to go out and socialize is being around other people that love socializing. I don't want to go out with boring, closed-off people. Okay? I'd rather be by myself than be around boring, closed-off, socially awkward type of people. I want to be around socially healthy people, right? Doesn't mean you have to be perfect. Just be you, be open, be able to carry a conversation, hang out, right? That's it. My best friend, who is an INTJ, told me he likes to study people before he interacts to understand how to best handle interactions, but also finds leading interactions exhausting. Well, that's because he's probably an introvert, okay? Or maybe he feels he's lacking something compared to others that he wishes he had. He's projecting probably on other people. He'd much rather interact when it is necessary rather than be the one to break the ice. Well, sometimes you're the one that breaks the ice. Sometimes other people approach you. In my case, I engage in interactions to see how people respond. I'm the same way. It's like throwing out a fishing pole, right? Casting your reel, okay? You could say I play a false hand, so to speak, but I like to lead the dialogue simply because it is home field advantage in terms of studying reactions. Like when I talk with women, I test them to see if they're really interested or not, or if they're truly ready for something or not. And you test them subtly because that's how women test you. You ask certain questions that are normal questions that anyone would ask and see if they're open to responding. And if they're not, then there's more than likely an issue and you just withdraw, move on to the next. Less opportunity to be caught off guard, but at the same time, I envy my introverted counterparts. Right. So you test the waters out and you don't invest too much in anyone for whatever reason you're trying to get to know that person. And you see how they react. And if they're open and they're excuse me. I just had a sneeze here. Give me a second. Live on the air, folks. Live television people, right? Wow. I bet you heard that loud and clear through my superior microphone quality with the Blue Yeti. It's not just the Blue Yeti. I enhanced the Blue Yeti with some software programs and all that. The Blue Yeti does not sound like this out of the box, folks. I'll tell you that. Maybe I'll do a stream or a video one day and show you how I enhance my audio. with the Blue Yeti. But I'm sure you heard that sneeze, Queen, like you were sitting right next to me, huh? All right. Nothing happening on YouTube or D Live. Back over to YouTube. Queen is laughing, the crying out of laughter emoji. Okay. I was in the middle of something, but let's just move forward. I can't remember where I was at. Even though I can easily jump into any dialogue, no matter the situation or people, I find it difficult to hold back and refrain from engaging, especially if it's something I know well. And I used to be that way too. I know a lot. And the thing is, when you're the kind of person like I am, and this person is, people are intimidated by us because we know so much and we're intelligent and maybe we're good looking and we are confident and we're cool people, right? They get intimidated by us, right? So when I come across people, I don't make it a point to prove to them or say things on how intelligent I am. I just have a conversation with them. And as we're talking and they're asking me questions, and even if they ask me difficult questions that most other people they would ask wouldn't know the answer to, and I know the answers, and I speak in such an eloquent way, I let them see for themselves who they're dealing with, right? And that way, when you do it that way, take it stride by stride when they ask you questions and not just try to prove to them how smart you are, they're not going to be intimidated. They're going to be like, wow, this guy, pretty interesting. Okay. I hear you, dude. I view this as a strength introverts have, and some really know how to use it to their advantage, as I end up revealing far too much about myself. Well, dude, that's more of an extroverted thing. So maybe you're like, I would have to say this. I'm not 100% extroverted. I'm like 80% extroverted and 20% introverted. I'm much more extroverted, but I do have my introverted moments. But I'm way, way more extroverted than introverted, right? So I get it because I have a lot of these qualities you're mentioning here, right? Can ENTJ pick up on anxious people? Well, who knows? Too easy. If I enter a fresh room, I'm the guy making conversation with the extroverts. It is very easy to see who the introverts are because they usually don't engage, even if it's a topic they're versed in. When a question rolls their way, even without knowing their cues, it is easy to tell based on their body language how comfortable they are. That's true. Body language, very important. Tone of voice, very important. Length of response, very important. All these things are very, very important. Pay attention. Pay attention. Okay? And you'll figure out the type of person you're dealing with. And if it's worthy to continue being their friend, their lover, whatever, right? Business partner, whatever it is you're trying to connect with that person for. Okay? Even how fast you walk and how your mouth, eyes maneuver reveal more than just words. You ever see people walking with attitude or walking just nice and, I wouldn't say overly slow, but at a reasonable pace? When I see those women that are walking very fast, it makes me feel like they're all over the place. When they're walking like at a normal pace and just relaxed and smiling, right? That's what I look for. That's how I come off. That's how I am. Though I went to university for psychology and studied a large number of Paul Ekman's webinar courses, the Emotional Face Expression Guru, so it has always been something I've been interested in. What do they think about them? They're responding to the initial question, okay? Entirely dependent on the setting. If they're a teammate, I want them comfortable so we can succeed. If it's a woman, I want her to be on the same page. I want to be on the same page. We don't have to exactly agree, but we have to have a similar outgoing and communicative type of personality. It's not about agreeing on everything. It's about just communicating in a normal and healthy way. I don't push them. They'll open up when they're ready. I'll keep it straight I keep it straight business and focus on building them up if it is stress, work-related, self-esteem issues. That's how leaders lead. I couldn't have said it better myself, dude. I'm going to give you another big round of applause. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Give me a second here. Yeah, I think we're still going through. Yeah, we are. Anxiousness isn't just some artificial reaction. People display bodily tension for a reason. One of my coworkers was nervous about his promotion, definitely an INTJ type. Was obvious based on him sitting alone on break, stewing within his mind, staring aimlessly into nothingness. Yeah. Yeah, some people, when you're dealing with overly anxious people, some anxiety is normal. But if you're overly anxious, that's something that you need help with, more than likely psychological help. I mean, I could try to help you with that, but I mean, I think you more so need to go and see a psychologist, a therapist, possibly even your doctor, and get some medication for that. Give me a second, please. These allergies, man, I'll tell you, it is a crazy pollen season still. I had to clear my throat again. All right. Let's see. People display bodily tension for a reason. One of my coworkers was nervous about his promotion, definitely an INTJ, I think I read that, was obvious based on him sitting alone on break, stewing within his mind, staring aimlessly into nothingness. I just read that. Okay. I would constantly build him up and tell him he's already earned our respect when we haven't known him long, because we saw how passionate he was about succeeding, being a good leader. You're trying to appease his anxiety, and it's not your job to do that, right? This is an issue this person has emotionally, right? It's an emotional issue that stems back to probably his childhood. Quite honestly, I would find out, if I was the hiring manager, I would interview in a way to see how emotionally stable somebody is that I'm hiring, because I don't want to deal with emotional basket cases working with me or for me, which would be with me too. Then he started to ask me about my interests later on, made comments about his own interests. Once he began to settle in and relax, he started to take his breaks with us thereafter. That's good. That's somebody that is probably just a little bit shy and timid initially, and after they feel relaxed, they're normal. Somebody that's closed off emotionally, you wouldn't have been able to flip that around. That would involve another underlying issue that stems back to his childhood or some other unresolved issue since that time. If they're my friend, I definitely push their limits and throw them out of their comfort zone because I'm a sadist. Oh, dude, I'm not a sadist. Come on, don't say that. Did you expect any less from an ENTJ? Come on, man. Come on. Wow. I've seen it all and heard it all. All right. Let me go back to full screen. We are at 1 hour and 41 minutes. I'm going to step away and take another quick break. And then I'm going to come back and go over the final two postings. Those will only take a total of about a half an hour between the both of them. So we'll be on another half an hour when I get back. Let me queue up some royalty-free YouTube music. Do-do-do-do. Let's see here. Boo-doo-boo-boo. All right. Music is all queued up, folks. I'm going to step away for a, probably a 6-7 minute break or so this time around. When we get back, we're going to go over the last two Reddit postings. And they're actually both from the Ask Men subreddit. One is, how do you deal with socially awkward women as friends or on new dates? And the other one is former socially awkward men. How did you improve? So stick around. We'll be right back. We're back. We are back. Yeah. Yeah. Feel it. Yeah, how's everyone doing tonight? You all ready for the new work week? The new week's about to start. It's Sunday night. It just turned midnight on the East Coast, already Monday morning. Are you ready for the new week? Yes, I am. Yeah. All right. Yes. All right. Welcome back to the third and final segment of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily broadcasting live on YouTube at youtube.com/LifeCoachEli, and also simulcasting live on Facebook and D Live. If you want to get more than just these live stream simulcasts on Facebook and D Live, subscribe to my YouTube channel and get everything else. Lots of pre-recorded content, mobile live streams, and members-only content exclusively only available on YouTube at youtube.com/LifeCoachEli, or just type in Coach Eli, Elias Melas while logged into your YouTube app or your laptop or desktop. And I should show up at the very top with 4K plus subscribers, which is what I'm trying to say. Now I'm losing my verbiage because I'm having such a great time here tonight, spending this amazing Sunday evening with you good folks out there that are trying to better yourselves. You're already good. You're already great deep within yourself. I want to help you get even better. All right. My allergies are just so kicking in. Like I think I may have had a little bit of a cold as well too. And when you get like a head cold and stuff, you have mucus that's within you, and when you take medication and stuff, the mucus starts to drip down and release, so it clears you up. That's what's happening right now. So don't mind me. I'll make it through the show. I'm a strong guy. I take a licking and keep on ticking, right? Well, tonight we've been discussing dealing with socially awkward people and the best way to help them solve it. One more time. Dealing with socially awkward people and the best way to help them solve it. Once again, at the beginning of this segment, I'll mention that if you want to hear my thoughts, I did a pretty extensive 45-minute monologue at the beginning of the show. Go back and check out the replay. I explained what socially awkward means to me, how to identify those people, how to deal with those people, and how to best help those people. So go back and check out the replay go check out the first segment at least. The second segment, I went over a great Reddit posting, and now I'm about to go over 2 other great Reddit postings to get feedback of other people. That's why I go through these Reddit postings and do my commentary on top of doing my monologue. I don't want people to think that, okay, you're just trying to, use these forums for content. No, I go on these forums to get a different perspective of the public. And later on down the road, and that's coming soon, I will be doing more interviews with people like this, and more live interviews, pre-recorded interviews, and content where I involve other people. But for the time being right now, until I take care of a few other things that I'm working on behind the scenes, I'm doing these shows alone, and as part of, having some supporting content of an outside opinion, that's why I subscribe to Reddit, and I paid for Reddit because, I respect the platform. There are a lot of great people on there. There are also a lot of weird people on there, but it's interesting to see their feedback. So let's continue. Let's go back over to the browser source and get to the next Reddit posting here from the subreddit Ask Men. And the question posed is, how do you deal with socially awkward women? as friends or on new dates? 21 comments here. We'll get through probably half of them. Chat Room Ninja. This is a guy. And he says, had a date with a super shy woman not too long ago, mid-30s, forever alone type. First, I tried to make it make her feel comfortable. That was written wrong. Try to make her feel comfortable is what you're trying to say. And confident. She was very insecure about her looks. She had made a comment about not having worn a dress in years over text, and she had no sense of fashion. She's probably just a good woman that doesn't have a lot of dating experience. Maybe she was in a relationship for a while. Maybe she was married for a while, and she's getting back into it. But she showed up wearing a nice sundress. I think I said something like she looked stunning in the dress, really stylish and fun. Purposefully looked a bit longer than I should have, then apologized for it just among us Reddit friends. It was totally intentional, and I'm usually more subtle. Well, dude, you notice that when a woman's really shy like that and she needs you still, she's interested, and she's trying to get you to like her. And what you did, bro, was a perfect method of natural attraction, dude. Like, why do men have to sit there and lie? Like, if you think the woman is hot, nothing wrong with telling her that. But don't tell it to her every second. Oh my God, you look amazing. It's a great pleasure to meet you, right? Now, if you sit there and say you look amazing every 5 minutes, then that's too much. But the woman wants to know you're attracted to her, and you want to know if she's attracted to you too, right? Great move, dude. I like that. But I wanted to really put my attraction on the table right away so she was focused on what we were saying and not how she looked. Good job. Then I think I asked her what her favorite TV show was, and I think she answered Star Trek and looked away kind of embarrassed. When a woman does that and she's still sitting there and she has a shy, embarrassed face, she's really into you, dude. This is good. So I followed up with which one is your favorite and said which one was mine and why. Clearly not a level of detail a non-fan would be able to go into. Boom, a common interest. Great. Great. She geeked out on that topic for probably the next 30 minutes. Good. You got her to open up, and now she's feeling comfortable. She's relating to you. You're relating to her. Great job, bro. I didn't care. It was cute and a deeper conversation than you would imagine. Dude, after a night like that, I'd be taking it out to the parking lot and making it out in the car. And who knows, it may lead back somewhere else. Finally, I didn't wait until the next day to say I really enjoyed finally meeting face to face. She was so much prettier in person, and I loved talking to her, etc. I just tried to put my own interest and attraction out there a bit more obviously so she would be comfortable. Good job. That's what you're supposed to do. You're a man, dude. Maybe that was a bad play. No, dude, I would have played it the same way. I don't know, but she seemed to appreciate it. Did you try for a kiss? Did you try anything? Dude, in that situation, you need to try something. I just thought the easier I could make it for her, the more she might open up and let me get to know her. So I wasn't quite as coy or playful as I might normally be. Actually, dude, you were very coy and playful. Come on, bro. That's so sweet. Good on you for making her feel comfortable. You, sir, are a gentleman. Well, he's more than a gentleman. He's a man. The guy's not sitting there pretending to not be interested or attracted to her, right? He's being real, but he's not overdoing it. This is perfect. Textbook. Perfect. By making them feel comfortable, have a date somewhere not extremely public, stuff like that. Don't push too hard, but do try to accommodate if you're interested in those people. Dude, I hope you got a kiss or something affectionate at the end of that date. If you didn't try that, dude, then you got to at least try the next date. If you're not intimate with this woman within the next date or the date after, it's never going to go anywhere. You have a window of opportunity right now to make something happen here. With kindness, respect, and compassion like you deal with any other human, as others have said, make them feel comfortable. Absolutely. He was having a conversation with her. He saw she was a bit shy, okay? And he was testing to see, is she shy or is she closed off? She wasn't closed off. She was shy. Probably doesn't have a lot of dating experience. Maybe was married for a while. Maybe was in a long-term relationship and she's been single for a little while, right? Good job. I'd love to find a woman like that in the Bay Area nowadays. All these women are so jaded out here in the San Francisco Bay Area because they've been through so much and they don't take breaks. They just keep dating people, right? In my younger days, I used to come across women like this, but nowadays with smartphones and dating apps and all of that, women have so many options. It's like to find a woman like this, bro, it's rare. And it's beautiful when you find one like this. You find a woman like this maybe once every 10 years. Seize the moment, brother. By taking them somewhere they are comfortable, realizing I'm not dealing with it because everyone deserves to be comfortable, okay? Have one as a friend. I tease her about it all the time. Just be brave and take steps slowly with them. For any friend, it helps them build confidence with others, okay? So she's a friend. Are you interested in getting with her and she doesn't feel it for you? Or are you genuinely a friend? Okay? It is possible. It is endearing because I'm also socially awkward. Okay, maybe you'll learn from this. It's good that these people are talking about social awkwardness and sharing their stories because this is what's going to help people break through it and become socially healthy and outgoing. Socially awkward people seem to have much larger personal bubble. Keeping the distance makes them feel more comfortable. Cats act much the same. Telling lots of jokes and good stories puts them at ease. Yeah, I've talked to this before. I'll say it again. And another coach I follow that I respect a lot, Coach Corey Wayne, says this. Men are like dogs and women are like cats. Cats will roam around the neighborhood nice and slowly, very cautiously, always on alert, right? And dogs, they'll just go, they'll run right up to you, they'll wag their tail, they'll jump on you, right? Perfect analogy, right? That makes sense. When he says cats act much the same, that's exactly what I thought about. Men are like dogs and women are like cats. Ignore them or behave in a way that indicates I have similar aspects to their personality. Make them feel comfortable and maybe they'll open up. That's what he did. He realized he had an opportunity. He took one chance to see if she'll open up, and she did. Now, I'm hoping that this guy has taken this somewhere. I go out of my way to put them at ease and make them feel comfortable. What else would you do? I don't. I mean, they seem to let themselves out in the end, no matter how well we seem to get along. Like trying to initiate a conversation is an uphill battle sometimes. At times, it seems like while they may be socially awkward, they have the ego or tendencies of women who are not awkward and are more attractive to some. Well, they have to be attracted to you. If they're not attracted to you, they're going to probably be closed off to a certain extent. But you're going to be able to tell the difference if they're shy, not interested or attracted to you, or emotionally closed off by trying to converse with them. You can read their body language. Pay close attention to their body language. As a man, I'd usually assume that she's not impressed by me rather than that she's awkward. That's a good point. I just said that in different words. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that, man. That was great. That is great. I like reading the comments in these forums because I want to see if these people really get it. I think society is starting to really, really understand this modern world better. Not everyone, but a lot of people that participate in these forums online or are part of the YouTube community or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, people that participate on social media, even if they're socially awkward, have a better chance of working through it by talking things out. I love Reddit. This is great. Generally, I don't deal with them as their social awkwardness means that they avoid interacting with me in the first place or hold me at arm's length. Well, I can understand where you're coming from, but I would at least try one time to open them up, 3 to 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes. If that doesn't open them up, then move on. That's all you got to do. My girlfriend is socially awkward. I make her comfy because I'm socially awkward, but in each other's company, we both are much more confident than each alone. Well, that's not good. You're a man, dude. You got to be confident on your own. She's a woman. She needs to be emotionally healthy on her own. This is called codependency, and it's not good. It's going to work for a little while, but at some point, dude, unless you're confident on your own and aren't dependent on her for feeling comfy in a relationship, you're going to see what's going to happen. I don't have any female friends who are socially awkward, so no worried here, or no worried there. Or you meant to say no worries. And to be quite honest, I don't think I'd date a socially awkward woman, just not the type of me. I agree, I'm the same way. But some women that may appear socially awkward are just shy. So you got to just at least give them 2 to 5 minutes and try to get them to open up. If not, move on. If they don't, move on, I mean. I usually tell self-deprecating jokes so they know there's nothing to worry about. That's a good way to do it, man. No patience for them. Okay. That's it with that one. Get your questions, comments, and concerns in right now, folks. We're at the last posting here, again, from the subreddit Ask Men. Give me a second here. Okay. Let me check out the chat real quick, which is what I'm trying to say. Facebook is clear, D Live is clear, and YouTube is all good. We have Queen Helen Casey. She's looking for trolls. And then she put the cat and heart emoji. Thank you for that, Queen. Thank you. All right. Former socially awkward men. How did you improve? Spell check, man. How did you improve? It's did. That's okay. Former socially awkward men. How did you improve? Let's check out the comments here. I'd say I was very socially awkward from 14 to 17. That's normal. You're young. You're learning. And then grew out of it by the time I was 18. That's pretty young. It took me to become more confident and understand normal social behavior. I was about 25. This is young. This is good, dude. So you grew out of it by the time you were 18. Honesty, I think you meant to say, honestly, just push yourself out of your comfort zone. I agree. That's what I did. I started to do things that I wasn't comfortable before, and then I got used to it. Now it's become second nature at 47 years old. I would make challenges for myself, say hi to at least 3 people I don't know every day for a week, meet at least 2 people this week, etc., and that really helped. Yeah, when I was younger, I'd go to the grocery store and, in my early 20s, I wouldn't even say hi to the clerks and stuff. I'd say hi, but now it's really cool, especially if I'm dating someone and we go to the grocery store together, I'm so social. And I want to show the woman I'm social, and I want to, participate with all people around. So when I'm at the check stand, I'm like, hey, how you doing today, right? Good, how are you, right? And then there's the assistant that, bags up the items. I also say, how you doing as well? I look at the assistant and I respect them. Hi, how you doing? Good, good. How are you? Good. You paper or plastic? No, plastic is fine. Yeah, I'll take a few bags, please. Thank you, right? Right? And I'll throw in something like, yeah, I used to be a checker for Costco in my younger days, so I know what you folks deal with here, I did it for a while. But yeah, Safeway's a good job, isn't it? Oh yeah. But I'm in school. I'm doing this right now while I go through school. It's a great job to have while you're going to school. You see how social that is, right? Then you have your girlfriend there. She may say something, she may laugh or throw something in there, but at the very least, you're coming off as healthy. You are socially healthy and open. And you're just a really decent person that just loves life, right? And loves people. Say hi to at least 3 people I don't know every day for a week. Meet at least 2 people this week, etc. And that really helped. Absolutely. I like this. Challenging yourself in social situations, I think is a great technique. It's fucking difficult if you got social skill issues, but it's also rewarding if you do it over and over. For me, I worked in a job where I was always interacting with people, not customer service, and that forced me to just speak how I wanted to, and see everyone as normal. That's a great way to do it. I really like this. This is great stuff. This is a great forum, the Ask Men forum. I have no idea. I guess I just forced myself to not give a fuck and be more confident. Dude, I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that. Dude, that's confidence, dude. That's exactly the attitude I want every single person that comes across my content to have. That's what I want people to learn from me, to have that attitude. I have no idea. I guess I just forced myself to not give a fuck and be more confident. Could not have said it any better myself, brother. Stop trying to be someone I wasn't. Exactly. Be yourself. Love yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself 5 freaking times. And then go out into the universe. And when you encounter people, you're going to know deep within that you love yourself. You don't go out and say that, but you just feel that deep within. That's going to radiate to people around you. They're going to see that you're a cool, calm dude, a normal, social dude that just loves life and loves people. That's very attractive, okay? Especially the women, if you're a guy. And a guy if you're a woman, too. I love social women. But, let's see. For a long time, I tried to talk, act, and think like who I figured I was supposed to be and what people would like. And as a result, my personality was uneven and unnatural. And I severely lacked confidence. Well, you're pretending to be something that you're not, and you had to put on an act for a while. And after a while, you're going to forget about certain things you did, and you're going to make a mistake, and then people are going to pick up that you're phony. So why not just be yourself, and then you won't have to pretend? Because if you're yourself, you can never lie. You're just being you. The more I started to do and say what I really felt, like, example, didn't laugh at jokes I didn't think were funny, didn't pretend to be interested in things just because they were popular, etc., the more natural I became socially, so the more people enjoyed being around me. I'm still not Mr. Popular by any stretch of the imagination, but the people in my life genuinely enjoy me, and I genuinely enjoy them. There are more than ever before, and there's nothing awkward about it in either direction. I am so proud of what I'm reading here. I'm going to give this person a round of applause because they realize that the best way to live your life is just be yourself. Don't pretend to be something you're not just to try to prove to other people that you're better than them. Just be you. It doesn't matter if they're better than you or you're better than them. What matters is how you feel about yourself as an individual. Big round of applause! Yeah. And I got to say, I just got a Cash App from my buddy. You're amazing, sir. I'm surprised you're not here in the chat right now. Hang on. Hang on a second. I want to thank American Dream, Mike, for the $10 Cash App, bro. I really appreciate it, dude. You've been very supportive of the channel lately. It's more than just your donations, man, but that does make a statement, and I really appreciate it, brother. So we're going to go to full screen for a second, and we're going to light up the donations tag. And we're going to start out the channel donations at $10. Thank you for that, Mike, American Dream. Back to the browser source, and let's light up the tag at the bottom left. There we go. See, with OBS, folks, the actual OBS, not Streamlabs, that's a bloated version of OBS, you can do anything you want. You can get plugins, you can do anything you want. It's like having your own television studio in your place. Thanks again, American Dream. I appreciate it, brother. appreciate you more than your money, dude. But you know what? It's not cheap to run this business, and every penny counts, dude. Thank you so much. Hit me right in the feels. I've for so long tried to be the me others saw me as. Just be yourself, and the right people will come into your life. If you want to attract the right people in your life, just be yourself, and eventually they'll come. Learn to be comfortable with silence. Stop trying to impress people. Exactly. Learn to just ask a lot of questions. I ask tons of questions. And if people don't want to answer, then I move on. If they don't want to answer, they're trying to hide something that's going to eliminate them anyway. So, ask questions and see where it goes. And if it doesn't work out with that person, you move on politely and go on to the next. I'm terrible at small talk. I'm not. Talking is one thing that I can do all day, every day. There's nothing small talkish about me. But most people won't STF you. Shut the fuck up. Bubblehead and say, wow, or interesting. Tell me more while they ramble, and people will somehow think they had a great conversation. All right, that's cool. Your social awkwardness is a story you've been telling yourself since you were a kid. Right. Like I said earlier, everybody to a certain extent is going to be born with some social awkwardness until you figure it out. It's quite normal to have a little social awkwardness in your teens and maybe even in your early 20s. By the time you hit your mid-20s, if you haven't snapped out of it, right, then it becomes an issue, right? And I can help people with that. Possibly someone told that story for you. Change your story. Well, you can create your own story. Just be real about it. Started living for myself and stopped living for the opinions of other people. Let me repeat that one more time. Started living for myself and stopped living for the opinions of other people. I'm going to give you, Striking Zucchini 957, a big round of applause. That says it best. Big round of applause. That says it all right there. Because like I always have said, if you can understand this one thing, whether you're a man or a woman, it will make the biggest difference in your life. American Dream is in the house. The channel member and moderator. What's up, Dream? Thank you for all the heart emojis and all that. Here's what it is. The only opinion of yourself that matters is your own. Let me go full screen for a second. The only opinion of yourself that matters is your own. If you can understand that, American Dream, Queen Helen Casey, or anyone else here watching, now or on the replay in the future, okay? If you can understand that the only opinion of yourself that matters is your own, then no one else's opinion will ever offend you. Especially trolls and haters and other people that are trying to kick you down, right? And stop you from creating whatever dream you're trying to create, right? So if you just understand that the only opinion that really matters about yourself is your own, that will change your life and nothing will ever faze you again. You'll be able to ignore and walk away easily from people that aren't meant to be in your life. And you'll focus more of your time and energy on others that are a better fit or the right fit. Let's go back to the browser source. Dream, you've been watching a lot of my shows lately, bro. Are you actually happy that at least one person in the community of people you associate with actually creates real content in high quality and is a positive person instead of a negative Nelly or negative Nancy? I'm sure you are, bro. Welcome to the show, brother. We're going to be wrapping this up real soon. We're at 2 hours and 20 minutes. It was a clean slate for me. I used to go to school and I was considered dorky and unpopular. Yeah, I think I was kind of like that in my younger days too, a little bit, but I quickly changed that. I was never the cool kid. Initially, I wasn't. I was an acne-infested hormonal teen. So was I. I had acne. Man, I got to go find some pictures of me when I was younger and put them out there. I'll show you folks. I don't care. I don't care if people see it. It's who I was. Women took absolutely no interest in me either. Well, the women had acne too, right? What's really funny is if you had acne as a man and you tried to get with a woman that had acne back in those days, she would still eliminate you because you have acne, even though she has acne too. That's how women are. Women are emotional beings, like I say, folks, all the time. They respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment. There's nothing logical about it. There isn't. They reason with logic afterwards. But let me tell you something, guys. Understand this too. When it comes to women, there's nothing logical about them wanting to be with you or not. It's how they feel emotionally. Okay? I'm not saying they don't have logic, but when it comes to relationships, it's about how they feel about you mentally, emotionally, and physically. How they feel. So I went to university after and promised that on the first day of university, I would talk to as many people as I can and be as friendly and funny as possible. I spoke what came to my head and people laughed. People liked conversing with me because you're a cool, decent dude. That gave me a lot of confidence. Amen, brother. I started self-improving and realized I'm getting a lot of respect from other people I studied with. Great. That's awesome. I was asked to go out to a lot of parties, which I did. Well, you had some fun. That's understood. I went to study sessions with many people whom I'm still friends with till this day. That's good, bro. You made some good friends that are decent people. Awesome. I ran for student body and was actually elected. Congratulations, bro. Big round of applause. Yeah. Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. I bet you when you were, like maybe you were student body president or you were on the board and you were getting the crowd surging for you, brother. That's what happens after a while. You start to better yourself and become more confident and emotionally healthy, and you're no longer an awkward person. You no longer are socially awkward. You have the crowd cheering for you, brother. The crowd cheering for you again, brother. Dream, do you wish the crowd would cheer for you, bro? Because they can. You're getting there, American Dream Mike in the chat. You're getting there, bro. I'm telling you, you're getting there. By the end of this year, bro, I have a feeling your life's going to change for the better, bro. Let's talk soon, bro, privately, all right? Does that work for you, American Dream? Mike, thanks again for your $10 cash app, bro. I appreciate that. Dream is live right now? Is he simulcasting me? That's okay. I'm not worried about it. I appreciate the donation, though. It's all good. No worries. Dream can simulcast me anytime he wants. I have a lot of love for Dream. Let's see. Everyone knew my name, and even people outside my course. My flatmate building knew who I was and always referred me to my nickname. Dude, that's awesome, dude. You're becoming the big man on campus, and you're not even trying to be that. You know why that's happening, dude? Because you probably cleared up your acne, you took care of yourself, you're in shape, and you know what? You're just an easygoing guy that's easy to talk to and with. Basically, I started ANU in university, and my life greatly improved there. Wonderful, bro. Number one thing, question mark, even if you see a dorky person, converse with them. Be that guy who gets along with both sides of the social curtain. That's how I've always been. Quite frankly, there are some pretty cute, dorky women. I'd even date one. No problem. When I was 17, I moved by myself to a place where I had no friends, no family, and didn't know anyone. Okay? I had to force myself to get out of my comfort zone and interact with people on a daily basis. As time went on, I became a lot better at it and stopped being so shy around strangers. Right, because you kept on doing it. Repetition is the mother of skill. Like Coach Corey Wade says, Repetition is the mother of skill. And if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Awesome. I'm getting to my 30s. And I can safely say now that I can hold a conversation with pretty much anyone without feeling anything negative. If anything, I actually have fun talking to people. That is so awesome. That is the way it should be. Socializing is a learnable skill just like any other. You suck at first, then you get better with practice. There's nothing else to it. Yeah, not all of us are born with the gift of gab. A lot of people say that I was born with the gift of gab. Maybe I was. I've never really had a problem talking ever since I was a little kid. But there were times where, in my younger days, in my preteens and teens, that I was a little shy at times every now and then. But I snapped out of it by the time I was in my early to mid-20s completely. I forced myself to go out and meet people. I talked to them even if I was nervous, and I learned that most people really don't give a shit what you're into or what you wear. It's about who you are and how you treat people. If you're respectful and not a creep, you can get generally, I think you added the word there, you can generally get along pretty well with the majority of the population. I agree. And if you're a good guy like myself and people still criticize you and attack you, you have to ignore those people. You're going to get people that are going to be jealous because you're this type of person. But I think you know that. Before that, I would always make these situations into a bigger deal than they ever were. The people you're going to want to be around aren't going to care if you stutter, don't talk much, or don't like all the same things they do. That's true. They're going to accept you for who you are because you're just a cool person. Just keep a level head and ask them about stuff they like, and it'll be fine. You'll run into the occasional asshole. That's what I said a second ago. But it isn't a big deal because you're not going to want to hang out with them anyway. Yeah, you ignore them and avoid them, right? First off, I stopped trying to control the situation. I stopped trying to force a specific outcome in a social interaction. And I just started being honest, and whatever came of the situation came. And eventually, I got to the point where I realized that other people's opinions of me is their business, not mine. Right. In other words, the only opinion of yourself that matters is your own, and you were being yourself, right? And you weren't forcing anything. You weren't trying to force a specific outcome. You were just there hanging out. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm new here. This is my first year at college. Yeah, I'm just looking to get to know some people. Yeah, hey, I'm Jill. Yeah, oh, great. Maybe we can hang out sometime. Yeah, that'd be nice, right? Phase 1, speak up. I joined the debate club, slowly became more vocal through debates. We used to go to the playground after every session, and I'd bring people there. That slowly developed my leadership. Excellent. Good way to do that. Debate club's a great way to do it. Became the president somehow. Dude, that wasn't by mistake, bro. That was your calling, brother, and you know it. You're being humble. I respect that, okay? Then I was the leader for a student camp. Good for you, dude. Having to shout to 200 people at once. Section 3's, whoa, was the most terrifying thing. I swear I wanted to die the moment before. I wanted to jump off something, but after that I have no more fear of public speaking, but I still had no idea what the hell to say in conversations. I'm just loud. Dude, you figure it out as you go. I used to have the fear of public speaking too. And I got over that fear back in my 20s in retail management when I was forced to give a presentation to a group of vice presidents. I've shared the story before. I'm not going to go into detail again. But I get what you're saying, right? I bet you by now you're a world-class public speaker like myself. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but yeah, I was in the same boat. Now, people can't shut me up. I love talking. I love uplifting people. I love conversation. Great, deep, intellectual conversation. Phase 2, become more interesting. I started memorizing jokes for every occasion. I play a lot of games and during calls because I don't know what the hell to say. I'm just screaming for my life when I'm at 1 HP. What's that, 1 horsepower? Slowly I moved to memorizing insults, then poking fun at other people. Timing is key. Well, I think you're doing it in a loving and playful way. I wouldn't attack people legitimately, but if you're doing it in a loving and playful way as a joke, that's great. I am not the biggest vocal narcissist of the group. Now you're being funny. No one would come out and admit they're a narcissist, but you're saying that because that's funny. You're making me laugh too. That's funny. It's so funny because I play like shit, but I remind other people that their positioning, vision, micro, macro, blah, 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 and everything else is incompetent. All in good fun, of course. I am now trying to develop a new type of humor, dark and satire jokes. Dude, that's great, bro. Congrats. I'm going to give you a big round of applause, dude. That was great, man. And you took the time to write it out in 2 phases, in 2 long paragraphs. Good for you, man. Good for you. That's awesome. I'm not going to read what's on the screen there. You folks can read that if you want. 1, speak up, share your opinions, and just stay strong on your thoughts while still being polite. That's true. Number 2, small talks lead to deeper and funnier talks. I used to hate them. Now I can just start them. Good. Number 3, something that helped me a lot is knowing that there are shy people who actually would like, dude, spelling and grammar, bro. Should be included in conversations. I was that guy, and I wanted to be the one who glued the group together. That's great. Excellent. Number 4, be sure of this. Everything is going to be all right. Even if you fucked it up, life still keeps going, and it won't even affect you that much once you realize. This is great, dude. Besides your grammar and spelling, which I'm sure you're just typing fast, this is good. Number 5, you have to get more social interactions. The more you have, the easier it gets, and the more confident you'll become. Practice makes perfect. Even when it comes to dating women, practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect at anything and everything. At the beginning, number 6, at the beginning, think of yourself as an actor, and first impression matters for you in a subconscious level. So act as a happy, extroverted person right when you meet them so you'll make a better identity of yourself. Well, be you. Just work on building your confidence. It'll happen naturally. No need to act. It'll happen naturally. Number 7, always be honest and humble. Try to act as something you are not or you don't believe will just make it more stressful in the long run. This is great, dude. I had to get a job, and my opinions were in retail. My options were in retail, sorry. So I had the first week was held, and I got slowly used to it. By now, I revel in talking to people, and even developed something somewhat resembling a character. Okay. Okay. I still am. Just embrace who you are. Was in the drive-thru at KFC, and the woman said she'll be 2 minutes, and I said thank you. Right after I was discussing how I can't talk to people to my girlfriend. Same week as being unable to tell a charity guy at my door that I wasn't interested, so listened to his entire thing and then just said, no, sorry. Then on the phone to a subcontractor trying to get a quote off them because they were late. They suggested the following week, and I said that it wasn't going to work for us. My colleagues still ripped me for it. One even said they saw a panic in my eyes as I was saying it that they'd never seen before. I don't think I'll ever have normal interactions with strangers. Okay, you're becoming more confident in dealing with people. That's great. A self-centered attitude, that's not it. All right, folks, we have a couple of more here. Let me check out the chat real quick. Okay. Let me see here. Nothing happening? All right. Continue to build and learn new things. With that, most people build self-confidence. If you only ever talk about the things you know, it is easy to be social. If someone asks you an opinion on something else, simply say you never got into the subject enough to have one. If you don't, listen, don't try to pretend you know about certain topics to try to fit in with people. If somebody asks you something that you're not versed in or well versed in, just say, hey, I don't have a lot of experience on this. I don't really have an opinion. I'm sorry about that, right? most people will be like, okay, cool. What do you like to talk about, right? I'm not sure I am awkward, more a bit too brutally honest for the average person. That is definitely me. I'm very brutally honest. And a lot of people can't tolerate that, but that's okay. I'm not going to change the way I am for anyone. Most people don't like that fact because they're insecure, immature, and they're projecting. Unfortunately for them, I really don't care what they think. I have the same attitude. I don't give a shit what anyone thinks about me. But I love people that are respectful, and I respect people that are respectful to me. It's a two-way street. If I grant someone the ability for their opinion to matter to me, it is out of respect. Well, the only opinion, like I keep saying, of myself that matters is my own, and it should be the same for you. I'm not saying don't value people's opinions or don't, give them a chance to talk with you, but don't let it get to you. Don't let it define you deep within. Don't let it trigger you. And if I haven't, then it's because I simply see no point in validating it. If their opinion has no relevance on my life, then it is meaningless to me after all. Dude, amen, brother. Amen. Big round of applause for that, brother. Yeah. Yes. And last but not least, folks, get your questions, comments, and concerns in. Last two here. Get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat right now on YouTube, Facebook, and D Live, because we're going to go off the air in about 5 minutes. I made some improvements just through maturing and through trial and error in my teens. I did the same thing, but I did it throughout the first half of my 20s as well, and even my entire 20s. Then when I was 20, I forced myself to get a job as a waiter. It was scary to me, really scary. My first 2 weeks, I was a ball of nerves for hours before my shift, and a couple of times I seriously flirted with the idea of just not going. Okay? But over the course of a summer, I became desensitized to the anxiety of meeting new people and the paranoia that I was going to make some embarrassing faux pas. Went back to college as pretty much a new man. Still me, but if you met me, you would not believe I had ever been paralyzed by introversion and social anxiety just a couple of years previous. Good for you, bro. Big round of applause. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. All right. The social tempering fire that is public high school. I'm still awkward, just not nearly as bad. We'll keep working on it. This is the right forum to be in. I love this Ask Men subreddit. Lots of positive stuff in here. And thank you guys for sharing your information. All right. All right, folks, that's going to do it. Let's go back to full screen. We are at 2 hours and 39 minutes. We're about to wrap this up. I want to thank everyone for being here. Queen Helen Casey and American Dream. Mike, thank you again for your $10 super chat. Not super chat, Cash App. Sorry, you sent a Cash App. I know you're live on the air. If I get a chance, I'll pop on over and see what's happening at your stream. Dream, I'm hoping that you've gotten rid of the drama. So we'll see. And if you want to reach out to me privately, Dream, feel free to do so. Folks, I'm going to get on out of here. We just hit the 2 hour and 40-minute mark. Another great show. Hopefully you got some value out of it. If you would like to get my help personally, just go to my website, coach.eliasmelas.com. Click on the Coaching Services tab and find the package that works for you. You can email me first if you have any questions. And, I'd be even happy right now at this time to give anyone a free 15-minute phone consultation. And that way you can see if I'm the right person to work with, if we're a good fit for each other. I'm limiting it to 15 minutes. I'll be cutting it off at 15 minutes exactly, because if I don't set that precedent, then everyone will take advantage of it. And, it's just, that's my business. This is a business. And as much as I want to help as many people as possible for free, it's just, I'm not going to do well for my business if I do that. So free 15-minute consult if you want it. Check out my website, coacheli@eliasmelas.com. Email me at coacheli@coacheli@eliasmelas.com if you have any questions. With that being said, have yourselves a great night. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.